Hello, YouTube. Greetings and welcome. Welcome.
Oi, oi.
How are you tonight?
Alrighty then.
Oh. Well, you can see me again.
Hola.
Ow, there's a chair there.
¿Cómo estás?
Alright.
What are you doing?
I'm putting that there so you don't have to look at me dance.
But everyone at YouTube only wants to stare at your ass.
Yeah, but the last time we made this video, sorry YouTube, the last time we made a video and you could see me like this, I had to get rid of the trousers I was wearing because I never realised I hate the way I look in them.
Did you actually?
Yep, they're gone.
Oh. It's a weird angle as well.
This is not a flattering
the
angle.
camera's a fisheye.
It's not a flattering angle. Alright, there we go. Okay, I'm going to start audio.
You have to.
It's kind of fundamental to the process, yes.
Okay, that's us to Jen.
She's not.
She's not listening.
No, she's not listening.
Hello.
Hello.
Start
You
your
start the
Jen.
audio.
Start my audio.
Yes.
You haven't told me how. I keep
Press
saying.
Click the
record
red
button.
record button in the middle of the.
Which one? There's three.
That one.
The big one.
There's no
big red
tracks
one.
are armed for recording. You continue by doing
Ah.
nothing.
Okay, you know where that speaker is that you turned off?
No, it's gone. It's not there.
What? Share your
Over to
screen
you.
again.
It's not there anymore.
I'm stopping the recording.
It is if I unarm it, so it's armed. And now I have the.
Now, can you press record?
Yes, I could press record, but there's like 5 of them.
What? Why?
That one you're recording.
Share your screen again.
Right, this one. I don't
I
have to
don't
do
know.
anything else. I'm just pressing that button.
I'm recording.
Whoa,
Right, fine.
your camera moving.
I know, because it's.
Hello. 1, 2,
stupid.
3, 4, 5. Yep. Okay. I have a waveform. I can see her waveform. I assume Jeremy is a waveform by this point. It's more waveform than man.
Yes.
Do I
I'm
need
not
to clap?
recording currently. Hang on, I'm not recording yet. I stopped it. Well, she was messing around. Are we good to go though?
Yes.
Okay. Now we can clap.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. I know Jennifer's picked that up because I can see the waveform.
Nice.
Okay. Well, are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
Ooh, exciting stuff.
Something annoying keeps happening with Reaper, and I think it's my computer. Basically, it will continue to make my recording come quicker. That makes sense.
It's speeding up.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
I think I know what you
but-
mean.
Yes, and it's annoying. I'm going to turn up.
Ooh, that's better. Nice. You're on video.
Just for YouTube.
Woo. This
The
is
upper tier quality
Feels
content.
special. Feels special.
Right, are we doing this?
No.
Let's do this thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's that one. It's that one. It's that one.
Oh, I've got places to be, people to see,
It's a lie.
Me too.
Okay. I'm going to go
food to eat.
now. It's time for serial viewing. Our 30th episode. This week we have watched Captain Scarlet and the Mysterons. Hello, Jeremy.
Hi.
Hello, Mysterion Jennifer.
All right.
All right. Captain Scarlet and the Mysterons ran from 1967 to 1968, a single series of 32 episodes. It is set in the year 2068. Captain Scarlet follows the war of nerves between Earth and the Mysterons, a race of Martians who possess partial control over matter. When a misunderstanding causes human astronauts to attack their city on Mars, the Mysterons vow revenge and launch reprisals against Earth. These are countered by Spectrum, a worldwide security organization. We watched Season 1, Episode 1, simply titled The Mysterons. I'm going to do that all the way through, I apologise. This is the origin story. So after a misunderstanding on the planet Mars, a war is started between humans and an alien race called the Mysterons. Their first act of revenge is to try and assassinate the world president. This was one of my picks because I love this show. Dun, 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 dun. I know Jennifer's heard of this one because we are of the same generation. I'm not even going to ask her. Jeremy, before I had started ranting on about this one for the show, had you ever heard of Captain Scarlet?
This is the voice of serial viewing.
Yeah, I've heard of this before.
Have you ever seen it?
Yes.
You have. Excellent. Of course you have. You're
Yes.
British.
Yes.
You grew up in England. therefore you have seen it.
The only place to view them.
There's only about 3 cartoons and kids' TV shows for the last 40 years, so we've all watched it all on repeat.
Yes.
This was... where is it? I wrote this down and then immediately forgot.
Can I just say,
Mm.
misunderstanding on Mars?
Yeah, it wasn't...
He shot first. He didn't even wait.
It was less...
Pew, pew, pew!
It was a misunderstanding. He misunderstood his own intelligence. Although that thing did look like a gun. But you'd
He was
think...
trigger happy.
You'd think an organisation like Spectrum would have some sort of first contact protocols in place.
Yeah.
Beyond, let's blow them up! So this was the 8th. I have so many notes on this.
What are you looking for specifically?
This was the 8th, I believe.
Eighth
Gerry Anderson show, and it was preceded by... I cannot find it. I know I wrote it down.
Just making work for me.
I am. Yes, I am. Sorry. Seriously, I've got like 3 pages of notes.
Yeah, memorize this stuff before you go on.
No. Right, there we go. Sorry, right. So, Captain Scarlet was the 10th Gerry Anderson puppet series. It was preceded by Thunderbirds and followed by Joe 90. Joe 90 was a slightly less successful show than this one, and it was featured a blonde-haired child with big glasses, just like I looked like.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
we've pretty much given you, as we usually do, we've given you the whole episode. It was a bit long in places.
Long.
Right, so Gerry, let's go for the obvious one. Gerry Anderson, how do you guys think this compared to things like Stingray and Thunderbirds?
I barely remember Stingray because I didn't watch it much.
But it's the best one.
Sure. I again, like, I don't remember watching too much original Thunderbirds. But you know, I know it. You know, it's obviously heavily inspired or heavily things are taken from the Thunderbirds, and you can see that it's obviously made by the same people and everything like that.
All of Gerry Anderson stuff shares a DNA. It's obvious.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they say S.I.G instead of F.A.B.
What does S.I.G stand for?
I have
Spectrum
no
is
idea.
green.
Spectrum is green.
Or Spectrum is green.
Yeah.
You're an angel.
I'll just drop a piece of trivia in there. So S-I-G, Spectrum is green, or S-I-R, very rarely said, Spectrum is red. Both radio codes have been borrowed by SpaceX, and they say S.I.G, S.I.R. SpaceX is green, SpaceX is red because they're nerds. Anyway, carry on, Jeremy. I interrupted you. Sorry.
No, it's good. I think I liked Captain Scarlet the most. It's the one I've watched the most, I think.
I love Captain Scarlet. It's brilliant.
I've
I
never seen
do-
this episode before. I've never seen Captain Scarlet be the bad guy. In fact, I didn't really know much of Captain Scarlet, the fact that he was indestructible from this episode.
Well, that's his thing. He is the indestructible man.
Indestructible. That's why in the title sequence he's been fired at by, well, basically a stormtrooper
He gets shot.
with a machine gun, and then he shoots once because he's Han. So basically, that's it. Yeah,
Because he's badass.
he's badass. Captain Scarlet is one of the better puppet ones, puppet animation, whatever they call it. What is it they call it?
Super Marionation.
Super Marionation. So it is one of the better ones. The puppets aren't as puppet like, and there's a lot more fluid movement with the puppets. So like in the crash scene where they're dragging the body, just for a second, it does look like they're dragging a body and not dragging a
Yeah.
puppet.
Yeah.
And then there's quite a lot of like when they do like close-ups, and I know they do it in the other ones, but it just works a bit better with Captain Scarlet. It's like they'll use a real hand.
Yeah,
And
I
things
know
like that. And it's like when they're
Hmm.
talking, it's just a little bit more fluid. Whereas Thunderbirds is very puppety, and so is the best one, Stingray. Joe 90, that's very puppety, but Joe 90 always does take on some of the Captain Scarlet ones. But Joe 90 was just a little bit more, was even more boring than Captain Scarlet.
So when did this come out?
This was 1967.
When did Terrahawks come out?
70s.
No,
This is so
no.
much better.
Terrahawks was late 80s.
Late 80s, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, see, that was one of the things that let Terrahawks down, was that it was kind of like, it was 20 years later, but the puppetry was worse than Thunderbirds.
Mr.
It's
Thumb.
like, yeah, it's like he, yeah, it was like he went back. I don't know whether,
Mm.
I don't know whether, well, it was Terrahawks, there was a lot less money in it,
Yes, there was.
and there was a lot
Yeah.
less, so I also get the feeling there was a lot less effort as well.
Well, when we covered Terrahawks back in season 1, episode 2, link in somebody's description. I think we discussed the fact that they were lower on budget, and there was a new technology that he was trying out,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and it looked awful. But this was a lot more adult as well than
It really was.
Terrahawks.
Yeah.
This is grown up.
It hadn't occurred to me when I was younger just how grown up this is compared to some of the other shows.
It's
I
very-
remember getting scared of certain episodes of Captain Scarlet.
It's
which is
very
funny.
film noir, and like the beginning was very Sam Spade. You know, it's like Captain Scarlet was sitting in his office drinking a whiskey, and it's kind of
Yeah.
like that kind of detective. But yeah, it was Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. It was very that style.
It was,
It was,
borrowed a lot from, well, as far as I could see shows like the Avengers, not Marvel's Avengers, the original Avengers
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Jonathan Steed,
Original
yeah.
Avengers, yeah.
And that kind of that kind of filmmaking where it was very 60s. I mean, it worked.
Mhm.
Watching it now, it worked, but it still looked very 60s. So the puppets, the marionettes, they actually used real human hair on them, which is a little
Mhm.
creepy.
Yep.
They really tried to get the eyes right on this one. They put a lot of effort into that. So there was one of the reasons they switched is they wanted to go for a more realistic look, but Gerry Anderson had actually managed to miniaturize a lot of the controls. So the bigger heads, the big bobble heads of like Thunderbirds, the controls for the eyes and everything that they actually managed to miniaturize, allowing more realistic human proportions. The new style of puppet, it was mixed reactions. When they first dragged them out, a lot of the crew were a little unsure about them. They thought that they lacked the charm. I'm making a confused face. They lacked the charm of the previous generations with the cartoony body types. Director David Lane recalls that when he first saw the prototype, it was like there was a little dead person in the box. Because
I was going to say, yeah.
it was perfect in all proportions. It just looked odd.
I can imagine that. Well, from an audience point of view, I could imagine that actually, from the 60s, it probably looked maybe for kids a little bit too real.
One of the sculptors, they put the prototype Captain Scarlet next to Lady Penelope, the Lady Penelope doll, and some people on the crew were, quote, horrified by the difference. There were some arguments that the facial expressions had been sacrificed somewhat, because these do seem to be a bit more stiff-faced. I think
They're
it's
all
just
frowning.
It's because they look. I think it's because they look more realistic. So you're getting closer to that more uncanny valley kind of thing. Whereas the older ones with the big heads, they were obviously puppets. They weren't trying to be anything other than a puppet. Whereas these were more realistic and badass. In my
Everything seemed a lot sharper and pointier. I don't know, there's more of an edge.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, they had you could see the clear, like, corners of the dolls and such, but it fit very well when compared to Terrorhawks, where they're all super round and podgy and, and thumbs. And soft.
I don't know if you noticed it, but they pretty much use the same faces for every scene, apart from the moment when towards the end, Captain Scarlet is at the top of a ridiculous building, which we will talk about, and he gets shot by Captain Blue. Captain Blue shoots him, and he's got this weird ass face on it.
Yeah.
He's like,
I think it's weirder because it doesn't change.
Yeah, model his "I've just been shot" face. Okay, and his mouth is looks like an S going sideways. Like, but yes, you're right. And then he falls off the building with the same look on his face all the way down. Jennifer, you mentioned that this was a lot darker than a lot of kids' shows of the time and now.
Yeah, it's a lot more grown up. But yeah, it's very. I don't know. I think it might have been because that was in the 60s. You did have. That's when you're starting to get your film noir, and you're starting to get horror movies. And this was definitely. It was sci-fi, but it was more horror sci-fi.
Yeah.
Your theme tune was more. That that kind of style, instead of it being more gay in the original sense of the word, and happy and childish, this was definitely a lot more grown up.
Well, I mean, it's evidenced by the fact that even in the opening seconds, he shoots someone. And it's not like a lot of kids' show where there's explosions near people and you shoot near someone and everything like that. No, he straight up shot someone. You didn't see it, but he still did it. Blood. He punched the world president in the face. I'm sure lots of people would like to do that. And there was blood on his face. It wasn't just, oh no. It was like an A-team where he just held his jaw. No, there was blood on his face. Cigarettes. I know it was the 60s and he was showing his types, but Captain Brown? Okay. So you've become a captain in Spectrum. Oh, what colour am I? Oh, am I yellow? Am I like dynamic orange? Red? No, you're brown. Oh, great.
Not even a nice brown as well. You're Captain Shit Brown.
Captain Pooh.
I did laugh though when he exploded and he's sitting there and then he starts and he's on fire, and I was like,
that's
the dude's on fire and it's coming out of him. It's like. I know it's a puppet, but it's just like, this is a kids show from the 60s, and these kids are watching this person. He's on fire from the inside, and then explodes. Oh, and then we have to watch the video back of him exploding.
Oh yeah.
So there's death as well. I mean, Captain Scarlet dies twice. Mr. Brown dies twice.
Captain Brown,
yeah.
Captain Brown, sorry, not Mr. Brown. Sorry, it is flipping Cluedo. That was it. I even put in my notes it's Cluedo. That's it. That's why it's like, because you got Colonel White,
Lieutenant
and you got
Green, Captain Blue,
and Henry, you got to drive an SPV.
SPV. Oh, can I tell my SPV story?
You can tell your SPV story.
SPV is the grey vehicle, which randomly for some reason you have
Yep.
to sit facing backwards for no real reason.
Drive-by monitor, yeah.
Don't really need to do that. So Jennifer and I, and Jeremy may have been there many years ago, went to a quiz, and our team won the quiz by one question, and that question, in the popular children's TV show Captain Scarlet, what does SPV stand for? And I was literally the only person in the room that knew that SPV stood for Spectrum Pursuit Vehicle. Even the other people on our team were looking at me like, how do you know that? I said, I don't know, I'm a nerd. Spectrum Pursuit Vehicle. And we won. We won the whole quiz on one question. Thank you, Captain Scarlet. Thank you, useless knowledge from my childhood.
Yeah.
There
Anyway,
you go.
just go back to that. Yeah, that you would never get away with somebody burning like that and then blowing up today.
No, I'm serious. I remember there being, in some episodes, I remember there being really, really, like you said about the horror, not like particularly gruesome, but like horrific enemies and things. And I remember there being some aliens that looked like Predator and stuff. And they were like really, actually
wouldn't-
quite scary
You wouldn't
to
have got
watch.
aliens.
Well,
You wouldn't have got aliens in Captain Scarlet.
I think it was though. I feel like it was. I think that there was this one episode where there was something like that, and I swear it was Captain Scarlet, and he was scared as hell.
Well, all right. I have a question for you, the pair of you.
Mhm.
What do the Mysterons look like?
They don't look like anything.
I don't know.
Don't know. Well, there you
I
go.
don't remember.
That's because you never actually see a Mysteron. In fact, that's because the Mysterons aren't even in the show.
Hmm.
In-
No, because you only hear their
no, you don't.
their messages through the
Those
Captain
messages
Scarlet.
are not actually coming from a Mysteron.
and
The
they.
Mysterons themselves do not exist in this show. The Mysterons have all left. They're not there. What Spectrum are fighting are the Mysteron computer systems.
right.
Yeah, that's right.
There are no Mysterons on Mars. Spectrum's is only fighting the computers they left behind centuries earlier. So they managed to piss off an AI. Not the swiftest AI, because it didn't happen in this episode, but generally Captain Scarlet will start. And then it's iconic. You used to get these two white lights, and it would pan across things, like across Captain Scarlet, and you get, "This is the voice of the Mysterons," and then they would explain in painstaking detail what their evil, dastardly plan was. They would literally tell Spectrum, "We are going to kill this person. We will be there at Tuesday at 3 p.m. We'll be wearing a rose in our collar." So yes, it was very dark. Okay. Bonus trivia
Really
question.
trying to find it.
Bonus trivia question.
Yeah.
And I'll give you 1,000,000 points if you can get this correct. Captain Scarlet. So they're all obviously code names. Captain Scarlet, Lieutenant Green. What's Captain Scarlet's real name?
Oh, I have no idea. Was it in this episode?
It was not. It's not. As far as I know, it's not in any of the episodes. It's in related material.
Barry.
It's as mundane as that.
Colin Smith.
Captain Scarlet's
Sid Burt.
real name is Paul Metcalf.
Oh,
God
Which
damn
was
it.
it's a nice departure, because from the 60s you expect his name like Blaze Powers or something like that. But no, Paul Metcalf. I did find a list of everyone's name, which is a bit random, and they're all just people. Nothing funky going on there. Okay, so Gerry Anderson shows were kind of carried, I mean, ignoring the plot, but they carried on the fact that they were puppet shows. They were puppet shows, and they were populated with models. What did you think of the models compared to other shows you've seen?
Like the ships and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. I did think it was quite funny as it started off and they were showing off the angels, and I was like, "Oh, cool! 3 awesome jets. What does Captain Scarlet get?" The little car just goes me. I'm just like, I'm glad it exploded.
I guess a big red car.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
I know he does it eventually. Yeah, doesn't he?
His red car because it goes faster. He gets a red
Yeah.
one.
Red ones go faster.
Go faster.
Yep.
The models are alright. They're very what train model
Hornby models, yeah.
Hornby
Well, that's what they had to work with.
train displays. But yeah, that's yeah.
Well, the correct answer was that they're amazing. And the angels are amazing. I loved the angels. I had model kits when I was younger, and I made all the angels, and I had a little white aircraft. It's so cool, and I love the fact. I liked the fact that they were all girls. I found it, even when I was younger, I thought, you don't see that's cool. Why wouldn't they be girls?
Well, that's
Yep.
one thing I do like about Gerry Anderson, and I definitely think Mrs. Anderson, what's her name,
Sylvia.
definitely had a massive control over Gerry. Is that all of his series have strong female characters. They might not be the ones that are
Yeah.
in charge, but they do have, and they're not just silly flighty ones. You think about it, you got Penelope from Thunderbirds.
Whoa.
Mhm.
Yeah, I get that she was very overly feminine, but she wasn't flighty. She was a secret agent.
That's what I said. They're not silly
I see what you mean.
flighty
Sorry, I
ladies.
apologise.
They're not silly flighty ladies who squeal and whatever.
Yeah, no,
They're
Lady Penelope
proper-
was in charge.
Yeah, they're proper agents. They have proper jobs, and they're intelligent and they get on with it. Half the Terrorhawks are women, and
Kate Kisserly.
yeah. Stingray is probably not a good example, but Stingray is the best one. Stingray is the better one anyway. It's the best one. It's all of it, and it's in water, and you get a mermaid.
I'm really struggling to. I think I'm thinking of Captain Scarlet pretty much completely, but I'm struggling to remember if it's Captain Scarlet or Stingray I'm thinking about when I'm thinking back.
Stingray was the one that's in the water and has got a mermaid.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever watched Stingray there.
Stingray,
totally have.
Stingray,
You absolutely have.
Stingray, and then it goes,
Um,
and then it goes Aquamarina. But that's
Yeah.
another thing as well, is he likes his theme tunes to have that. They start off, and then they kind of have this. They turn to and then they're completely different. He has this juxtaposition right in the middle. So with Captain Scarlet, I'm sorry, we're talking about the theme, and it starts off all jingly jangly 60s. Captain Scarlet, do 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 do, and then it'll go 60s sitcom. All of a sudden, in the middle, if you listen,
Yeah.
and you're like, and all of his themes do that. They'll all start in this certain way, and then they'll kind of they're not dropping a key or changing scale. They're just different. But that's very 60s. The Beatles used to do that.
Thunderbirds used to does it as well, where they in the middle it reflects Lady Penelope, which is different.
That's it. Terrorhawks doesn't.
No.
Terrorhawks, it just stays Terrorhawks. And then you got a bit of yeah. But then that's 80s.
Yeah, I think the thing is, these are very reminiscent of that. You get that 60s, like that 60s superhero.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even I liken it to the Incredibles theme song.
Yeah,
Well,
Because that's a really
because The Incredibles is aping
yeah.
the 60s
definitely.
style
Yeah, it's a
homage.
homage, to the 60s.
Mhm. Yeah.
And 60s heroes and the 60s hero TV shows. That's why.
Those brass sections where they go beep, and they have a full band, and then they do even James Bond is the same sort of thing.
Yes.
Because that's when it came out. It's that sort of the kind of big band, but also merged with the modern elements that were coming out at the time.
So we like the Angels,
We love the
Destiny,
Angels.
Harmony, and Rhapsody.
Oh, there's Destiny, Melody, Rhapsody, Harmony, and Symphony.
Yeah. But the bad guy has to be Captain Black.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, but that's just. I mean, I know he's not the actual black one because that's what's his name, Green.
Lieutenant Green is
Lieutenant Green,
is the only black lead
coloured
in a Gerry Anderson thing.
person of colour.
Okay,
was
so
leading?
Captain Scarlet actually came under
He pressed the button.
came under some criticism for its the bad guy's black, the good guy's white, and he came back and said, he asked, "But it's nothing to do with race. We're looking at the duality of good and evil. Good
That's
is,
just like
yeah,
society.
yeah.
It's
yeah,
not-
It isn't a commentary on race. It is literally the good guys are white, Colonel White. The bad guys are black. Duality, good, bad.
Yeah. If anything like that is like its psychosomatic relation to the actual pure colors, given that like white we associate with innocence and purity, and the angels, and the black we associate with death and decay and swamps.
Yeah, Colonel White was working on the theory that all colours come from white. If you shine a prism through a white light, you'll get yada yada. Or shine a white light through a prism, you'll get all the colours. That's entirely where it was coming from. There was no symbolism beyond that in it.
I feel like as well that oh, his name was Colonel White, right? Okay. Yeah. I think it's just that's easier for the children.
Absolutely.
He's wearing black, so therefore he's the bad guy.
Yeah.
Same as Darth Vader.
And so Captain Scarlet, when he comes back, he just looks like Captain Scarlet, whereas Captain Black looks like a heroin addict.
Yeah.
Who's,
But maybe that's because he's been under the influence a lot longer.
or it's because he's bad. He's the bad guy, so he's got to show his badness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the atmosphere of Mars that's affecting his body.
Yeah,
then
because
come
when Captain Brown came back, he didn't. He was
Captain
still
Shit's
his
name.
nice suntan skin.
Yeah.
Captain Shitstain.
So the voice of the Mysterons and the voice of Captain Black as the voice of the Mysterons was recorded by a chap called Donald Gray. So he read his lines as normal, but the tape recorder was recording at a faster speed. So they'd then take that, play it slower, play it back at normal speed, and he would sound like this.
Yep. It lowers the pitch.
Yep. So they wanted to make it sound more ominous and menacing. So Captain Scarlet, his face and voice were both modelled on a certain Hollywood star. Any guesses?
Cary Grant.
Cary
Cary Grant. That's it. Ding dang ding points to Jennifer straight away.
Because when I heard his voice, I went, "Bugger me! I didn't realise it was Cary Grant that had done that voiceover." And then I went and had a look, and it wasn't Cary Grant. And I was like, "Dude, he's trying really hard to be Cary Grant."
Who's
Oh my
Cary
god!
Grant?
I'm sorry, serial viewers, that Jeremy doesn't know who Cary Grant is.
That's because he's a baby. Just
Hang on.
IMD him.
I bet you that nobody
You'll
knows who
recognise him.
Cary Grant is.
Cary Grant's a very famous Hollywood
very
star.
famous.
I don't know about him.
Yeah, but you're a baby.
He's black and white.
Okay, so Captain Scarlet's voice artist was a chap called
He looks
Francis
familiar.
Matthews. He was based entirely on the fact that he could do really good Cary Grant impressions. Gerry Anderson wanted him so much that he, as the quote is, he moved heaven and earth to get Matthews to do it. He had been either uninterested or unavailable. He basically cut a deal with Matthews that he could divide his time between his on-stage appearances at Noel Coward's play Private Lives, because he was a very serious actor, and then do the Captain Scarlet voice recording sessions as well. So he did. He heard this man do an impression and said, "I want you," and then absolutely guaranteed that he was going to get him.
Seems fair.
Yep. It's unique. Captain Scarlet is unique amongst all of the Super Mario Nation shows in that it did have multiple variant openings. 3 of them. The first episode, which is the one we watched today, with the finger is on the trigger, about to unleash a force with terrible powers beyond the comprehension of man. That was unique to the first episode. And then there was 2 others. Sort of leading the fight, one man fate has made indestructible. His name, Captain Scarlet. And then also on some episodes, and I can only speculate why this came about. On some of the episodes, the title sequence ends with Colonel White cutting in and saying, Captain Scarlet is indestructible. You are not. Remember this. Do not try to imitate him. Because I'm sure some kids are, I saw Captain Scarlet do this, and then chuck themselves off a 9-story building.
Do you reckon they did? Do you reckon there's
S.I.G.
stories?
Of course there are.
Yeah.
Kids are stupid.
Yes.
Some adults are too.
So, what did you think of the voiceover at the beginning?
Couldn't.
Do you think?
I don't remember.
Jeremy.
Do you mean the theme? What I said was the Captain Spade film noir.
Yeah.
Here we are walking down a dark alley. Captain Scarlet's our hero because he's
Yes.
red.
Yeah, that one.
Shoot, shoot, pew, pew, pew. Now here we are. It's very like, oh, this is the news as well. Yes, that's what I thought about it.
Oh, okay. Well, I liked it. I thought it was a.
Yeah, I liked
It
it.
wasn't a terribly descriptive introduction beyond the fact that this man's going to be
No.
indestructible. Do you think they needed the introduction episode? Could you think the show would have suffered any if they'd just led right into it, going, yep, he's indestructible, it's their fault, let's go?
I feel like they would have had a good, like, I think it would have just gotten lost in dialogue if they'd have not done it, and it wouldn't have made a lot of sense. I think because they were aiming for it to be a bit more grown up, I feel like just cutting in and like removing that makes it harder to understand and stuff like slightly easier for younger kids.
I'm going to disagree with you because I think this was the first episode, and I remember a lot of the episodes, and I think this was possibly the weakest one out of all 32 episodes. And I think you don't need it. I think you could have gone maybe made the intro voiceover a little bit longer. This is Captain Scarlet. He's indestructible. The Mysterons did it, and now he fights on the side of the good. And I think you could have just gone straight into it. Kids would have gone, okay, he's indestructible.
I don't know.
I don't know. I quite like the idea of having the Explain It series. I mean, the Explain It episode, and we had it in bloody Ulysses. That was like 20 years long.
Yeah, but
I feel like
So-
that was genius.
This
So-
episode, this episode wasn't the best as an intro episode because you had that whole mess with Captain Brown, which I found rather boring. And apart from the fact that they showing like I think the first part before they turned into Mysterons was good.
Yeah.
Cut out the brown shit, pun intended.
Yeah,
And
was that supposed to show the reach of the Mysterons, or was it just to show how far they would go, or somebody just had a great idea to blow up something and wanted to do it?
I think they just wanted to show that they could blow stuff up, blow some puppets up.
I mean,
Well, I put what the fuck? Shit just blew up. Dude's
Yeah.
on fire. Well, not total destruction, because the angels went, total destruction. No, it wasn't total destruction.
Mm.
And then I put, bloody can't trust anyone with those Mysterons about.
I also thought it was incredibly lame that the president of the world managed to get out of that. I just wanted it so badly to be like this whole thing where we know he's a bad guy and he actually just kills him. like he just blows up the thing and they're like, oh no, what's going on? Spectrum has to like make sure like put into like a military law, martial law in the world.
well, as the
To be honest, I found it really lame that there was a president of the whole world.
Yeah, I wanted him dead.
What's that bullshit?
Well,
It's just like, really? That's not going to work.
there are no nations anymore. We're just one happy.
I mean, yeah, globalization.
Yeah,
Sure.
but you can't have one president. You have to have a group of people,
Well,
which is
Yeah.
where in the future, that's if we're all united, you won't have one person in charge. You will have a group of
Well, he's
people
just-
who are in
well, yeah,
charge.
I hope we
he's-
won't have
he's-
one
He's
person.
the president of the
Yeah.
world, and he'll have a cabinet, and there'll be like a parliament.
Nah, it's bullshit. It doesn't work. Just like the London car view.
Oh my god, what was that?
What was it? Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Was it a car park? Was it?
I think it's a viewing platform so that you can look at London, but you do it in your
Yeah.
car.
Come on,
They were so
kids.
accurate
Let's spend
with everything else. They had the M21. They had the right road signs. They
Which
just-
the That's the M21. Oh, an angel just blew the shit out of that.
Yeah.
Just blow that
So
up.
I wrote that down. Yeah, just going to blow up a bit of London infrastructure.
That's what
It's
I
gonna
just
be
put. What the hell?
tailbacks, but
Oh, what
tailbacks
the hell?
for
Just blew up a
miles.
motorway. Yeah, but it's the 60s. There was nobody on it.
There was like 4
true.
cars driving around, and the 6 of them were bloody Spectrum Pursuit vehicles.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, but no, the London car view. Or all I could think of it was either it was a viewing platform,
But why?
or it was so you can look at London. I don't know.
I thought
It's-
it was going to be a
it's-
space elevator because I wasn't paying
30
attention.
years in the future.
Oh,
Well, that's. I think it might be like a helicopter or like where you can pick up and meet your space aeroplane or your space
but
aircraft, maybe.
Wouldn't you just put a big car park at the bottom and then take the elevator up instead of spending
Yeah.
90 minutes driving into... Can you imagine getting to the top? Hang on, I'm just going to throw up.
Well, that's why I think it's a viewing platform that you can sit in and your car. So it's just a gimmick, isn't it? I mean, I'm glad they blew it up in the end because it was just
Or
bullshit.
are they taking the piss out of the fact that England is so flat that there's no hills to sit on to look over London, so they had to
Well,
build a massive tall
I
tower?
I found it really annoying because you've got the car models are cool, the angels are cool, and then the cloud base, that's cool, and then some of the models like the garage and they're driving down the road, all that's cool, and then we've got a corkscrew with somewhere you can park at the top. This doesn't make
A tiny amount.
any
Maybe it's corkscrew made out of toilet roll holes, toilet roll innards. It was just it's terrible.
it was
I will say one thing. I've just completely forgotten what I was going to say. What the fuck?
I did it earlier.
You just said something, and then I was going to go, oh yeah, that's
the models. I was talking about the models.
no, not the models, not the
I don't know.
cars. Oh, well, it can't have been that important.
I did write this down as what because I think I've made it quite clear that I love the models, I love the vehicles, I love the backgrounds, I love everything about this show. It's awesome. But part of the reason that the models, like there's a picture of the garage where Captain Blue goes to pick up his SPV, it's the details. It's the little they didn't just when the guy's standing in the booth, they didn't just make him stand in a box with a window. There's like a clipboard and there's pens and there's things on the desk and there's a poster and all, and it's just those little details that just make it amazing. And it's one of those shows that I could watch it a couple of times just looking to see what I missed last time because there's a lot going on there and it's awesome.
Because Gerry Anderson
Oh!
was a model
I
nerd.
remembered what it was. So their floaty sky ship,
Cloud base.
cloud base. Yeah, didn't it look like the Avengers cloud?
That's
Ship
the first
thing.
that's the first thing I thought of was the helicarrier.
Helicarrier, that's it. Sorry, I went all mum then. Helicarrier.
I'm gonna be 100% honest because this was so long. I was tuning in and out.
I did as well. I got bored halfway.
As much as
And we even went and switched it off and had our dinner and came back again and I still was bored.
I loved this show, it did go on too long. They could have cut large chunks of it out, like driving up the corkscrew.
Yeah.
Or
30
maybe
seconds of people drifting up this corkscrew apparently because it was
no tyres at the end.
No, yeah.
Well, maybe like you say, this is the crappiest of all of the episodes. So
I think so, yeah.
And
maybe that's why we bored.
I'm sure it looked cool in the 60s, but Captain Blue with his little jetpack and his little helmet on just looked like an absolute twat. He's like, I'm going to fight crime. I hope nobody sees me because I look like a dick.
And this is when he shoots his gun. It's either me or you, Captain Scarlet. And Captain Scarlet goes,
yeah,
boom.
all right, then me.
Bang.
Bang.
Yeah.
Jennifer's just punched her camera.
Yeah, although I do want his jetpack.
yes, it's very
very
yeah.
jetpacky. I swear I've seen that.
Jetpacky.
I've seen that in like James
I think Homer
Bond
Simpson has used that jetpack.
I think I used that jetpack in one of the GTA games as well.
Yeah.
Oh wait, yeah. Are you saying Homer Simpson? Who's the bad guy in Homer Simpson?
Sideshow Bob.
Hank Scorpio.
Hand Scorpio, doesn't he have one? And
Yes,
then
he
when
does.
they
Oh,
go
yeah.
move to his town, that's how they get around. It's
That's
those,
how he escapes. He's using a flamethrower
Yeah.
and then jetpacks.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I love Hank Scorpio.
Hank.
So, according to a documentary that was made for the 2001 DVD release of Captain Scarlet, Gerry Anderson wrote the Mysterons as an invisible enemy in case it was later proven that there was actually no life on Mars. And he could just say, well, they're there, you just can't see them. I don't know how true that is, but that's some forward planning there, Gerry. Well done.
Yeah.
The Angels. Four of the five Angels appearances are were based on real-world actresses. Destiny Angel was based on Ursula Andress. Melody Angel is thought to have been based on an appearance on singer and actress Eartha Kitt. Rhapsody Angel was based on an appearance on model Jean Shrimpton, very famous in the 60s. Harmony Angel was based in appearance on the actress S.I.G, who was in a lot of the Hammer horror movies. Slight casual racism in her accent because it was obviously not a Chinese person doing that. And the fifth angel, Symphony, is rumoured, no, not proven, to look like the actress who actually voiced her, Jana Hill. So there you go.
Yeah.
The angels are S.I.G.
Are they all supposed to be from different places?
Yes.
Or are they all French?
They are
Yeah, they're the international.
Okay.
Because that was cool.
Because they all sounded French to me.
Racist.
Yeah.
So, according to background information about some of the characters that were produced by Century 21 for its publications, Captain Scarlet takes place a few years after the events of Stingray, shares the universe with them. So, Stingray and Captain Scarlet exist in the same world. Some of the Spectrum personnel are actual veterans of Stingray's WASP organisation. None of that was mentioned on screen, but it's established, it's canon that shares a universe with Stingray. Can you imagine you can imagine a crossover where Captain Scarlet means one of the bobbleheads from Stingray is like, "What's wrong with your head?" and retaining fluid. Blah, 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 blah.
Stingray doesn't have bobbleheads.
They do. They are classic Gerry Anderson things with these
Yeah,
slightly
but they're not as
cartoony
bad as Thunderbirds.
No, they're not as bad as Thunderbirds.
I feel like Thunderbirds would have been useful here.
International rescue. They would just get in the way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
The moving walkways. Did anyone else pick up on those?
Yes. In fact, when Brown, when they went into the building, and then Brown got his cigarette thingy, and then they're walking across, and then they're supposed to be walking into the thing. I actually found that a little bit creepy because I was like, "What are they supposed to be walking?" And then I was like, "Oh no, it's in a sciencey spy place, so that will be an escalator." But no, I found that a little bit creepy. It was like instead of them walking, and then when they come out into the room, and it's still
on the walkway.
still on the walkway, but you've got this clunk 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 like they're walking, and I was like, but that doesn't work. It's just not working.
I don't remember.
I thought it looked really dumb. I was like, why would you have a like what is the security system where they go through on this escalator type, this conveyor belt?
The walkways of 2068, they are everywhere through all of the episodes. It's there. People don't walk anymore; they just stand on these things.
I wonder why.
It was born out of Gerry Anderson getting irritated.
Yeah.
Because this was more of a realistic, show. He got really frustrated by the fact they couldn't make them walk realistically. Think about the Thunderbolts, whenever they
Because they do that, yeah.
Bounces across, so they couldn't do that. And they didn't want to do that because they didn't want to break immersion. So they put them on walkways, so they just bzzz constantly.
Should have done the tubes like Futurama.
So this was rebooted. Did anyone know that?
I found that out about 5 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Yes. I think they all have, haven't not all of them, because Thunderbirds obviously,
did.
that was a big reboot. In fact, that's been rebooted a couple of times, isn't it?
So in 2015, Gerry Anderson himself rebooted this as Gerry Anderson's new Captain Scarlet. It was done in what was called hyper marionation, which was just CGI. It was the last show produced by Gerry Anderson before his death in 2016, 2017. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, I think it was 2016.
It aired on Saturday mornings as part of the Ministry of Mayhem show. Does anyone remember Ministry of Mayhem? It was cut into 2 segments. Gerry Anderson was not happy because they cut the show into two halves. It never came on at the same time. It was just kind of crammed in when they needed it to be. So it got largely ignored. It didn't have any standing on its own. It wasn't well received because of that, and then was cancelled after 26 episodes. And Gerry Anderson blames it entirely on the scheduling, which was a bit sad.
It's CGI'd as well, which was the thing.
2005. Ugh.
Yeah. Well, he tried in 1999. He created a 4-minute short, CGI short, as kind of like a demo reel to try and reboot it then, and it just didn't work. So they tried again later. And I've only seen a picture of it. I've never seen any of them, but I think it's just going to go the same way as the animated Fireman Sam. Or animated, animated Bob the Builder. It just looks really creepy and weird.
I think it might
wrong.
be even worse because it was 2005 animation. That's when Shrek came out, sure. But Shrek is a full budget movie and Captain Scarlet's a TV show.
Yeah, but I think you didn't you? I think you might have watched it.
Don't think so.
Well, yeah, because you would have only been 2005.
This looks ugly.
Yeah, told you. I've warned you.
It does look like the Fireman Sam version.
Yeah.
Just dead. I'm going to save you now. You're going to give me your soul. Run, Norman, run! Fireman Sam's coming. So the production company gave out over 60 licenses to various toy companies in the 60s to create all kinds of toys and tie-in merchandise. The most popular were made by Meccano's Dinky Toys in '68. There were 3 die-cast vehicles, a patrol car, the security vehicle, and the Spectrum Pursuit vehicle. I had one of those when I was young, thank you very much.
I'm going to say, I think, didn't you have one? Because I've seen one around somewhere.
I don't have it
before.
anymore, but I did have a Spectrum Pursuit vehicle. The Spectrum Pursuit vehicle model actually held the title of the best-selling die-cast model of all time for many, many years. It was so popular.
Diecast one. Oh, like
a.
Oh, right.
It was a big
Little metal car.
It was It wasn't little. It was probably about 6 to 7 inches long.
Okay.
It was a big chunky thing.
I love that. It's about 6 or 7 inches long. Yeah, that's not 6 or 7 inches.
It is
7
to a
inches,
man.
Right? Longer than the forearm, right?
Yeah.
It looked like so basically, it looked like a baby's forearm holding an apple. No.
Nasty.
Several video games have been made.
Really?
Yeah. Captain Scarlet in the Shadow of Fear was made for the PC by a company called Europress in 2002. The Captain Scarlet Activity Pack, which sounds really riveting, and I bet no child got that as a present and thought, oh yeah, great. That came out for PC by a company called Digital Workshop, also in 2002. And then the PS2 had a Captain Scarlet game, which came out in 2006. I'm going to look that one up because I think that's a good idea.
PS3. Oh. Do you know the ratings of any of these games?
I don't. I didn't get a chance to look them up. It took me a while to find out that there were any. There was another one in between 2002 2006, but they started production and then it got cancelled. I can't remember what it was called. Excuse me.
Captain Scarlet, perchance?
I think Captain Scarlet, Captain
Scarlet.
Captain Scarlet, a Paul Metcalf tabletop role-playing game would be quite cool.
Maybe just a Gerry Anderson one.
Because you could be, well, yeah. That's a really good idea. Because you could take
because I could be Aqua Maria.
You could take on one of the captains. I mean, the Mysterons are a great RPG enemy because they're mysterious and anyone could be a bad guy. And
Have you?
They're a bit OP, aren't they? They can do whatever the fuck they want. They can just take over
That is
people,
true.
blow shit up. They're just a little bit too OP, and they're not tangible, so you can't get them.
no, you can
Can't
only,
get them back. You can just trick them
that's
into
True.
telling you exactly what they're going to do, and then
Why didn't they just go back to Mars and nuke them?
Yeah.
because they had their what did they say?
but
They had the reversing matter.
If you nuke, I don't know, a
Oh, yeah.
circle area of like 50 miles, you're going to take it out.
Well, if you just take off and nuke the whole planet, just
Yeah,
to be
just blow up
sure.
Mars.
Just that's the only way to be shot.
Just kill Mars. We don't need it anymore.
Yeah.
Have you guys never thought about like a cross universe Gerry Anderson thing with like the what are they called? The bots, from Terrorhawks.
You mean the crisscross?
The
Oh.
balls.
The whole,
I can't remember what they're called.
Yeah. Zoids. No, it's not Zoids.
Zoids?
Anyway, then. Yes.
Yeah. Like what if they fought the Mysterons and stuff and like they could launch from Thunderbird 5 or whatever it is. Thunderbird 4, whichever
I
one's the
think a
spaceship
Gerry
one.
Anderson RPG is a brilliant idea.
Yeah. Maybe a war game.
What character class are you? I'm a Thunderbird. I'm a
Yes,
Stingray.
people-
I'm a.
You can put guns on Thunderbird 1. He needs it.
What? I think that's a brilliant idea, and if it hasn't been made, I'm going to have a look at it.
It hasn't been made, but apparently it is something that has been.
I couldn't imagine.
There's a
being the first-
Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
Somebody's
You could
made
just
a
expand it.
tabletop RPG called Thunderbirds role playing game.
Yeah, but it's
Um,
Thunderbird.
Yeah.
What's your Henry? Well, this question goes out. What's your favorite part of Spectrum?
The Angels.
Like what equipment? Like the Angels,
Angels.
specifically.
Yeah, they're amazing. I love those aircraft.
They are pretty cool.
And they
Are they
can-
modeled on anything specific?
No, they are.
They're just
they're just
pointy chips.
futuristic and cool.
They're a cross between a paper airplane and a dart.
And they have.
And the
And,
way that those girls fly them is
I
pretty
like-
much the same.
I also like the fact that they've got highly accurate weapons that look like someone's just let off a cracker, like a firecracker.
Yeah.
It's like,
Shot video game shotgun.
and then they take out half a bridge. They can also, I don't know what kind of weapon they're using, but they can scale it back because she fires a couple of shots, takes out a bridge, fires around an aircraft, a couple of little bangs. It's clever.
Yeah.
It's clever. But
Different weapons.
anyway, there's nothing. I like the cars. I like the Spectrum vehicle. I like the security vehicle. I like even the white car that he was driving when he stole the president of the world, and they were driving.
Oh yeah.
I really like them. I think I like the design. I like the way that they're moved. I mean, obviously the white car was on something like a Scale Extra track when it got to the top. You could see the little groove it was running on, but it worked. It was cool. Okay, everything apart from the helicopter that looked daft.
Yeah, the helicopter was podgy. I remember an episode where I think this is an episode. I don't know if I'm thinking of Captain Scarlet, but I think I am. There was like a car, and then they had to like they couldn't. I don't know if they couldn't stop it or something, or they had to
sounds
defend
like
it. And they put one of the angels on top of it, and then they had like cars either side of it, and they put a force field around it. Like,
That sounds
stuff like that. I don't know if it's Captain Scarlet, but it could be.
That rings a bell of one of the angels coming down and getting real, and then trying to lift him off or something.
Yeah, I
Yep.
think I need to rewatch all of it.
So, how would you rate this against other Gerry Andersons? Is this better? Is this worse?
The ones we've watched.
Yeah. Well, we've only watched
Terrorhawks.
Better as
Terrible.
in what?
Which-
Enjoyable or
Well, I know for you. Would you rather watch this or Thunderbirds or Stingray or Joe 90 or any of the other many?
no? I'd rather watch Stingray all the days long. Stingray, then Terrorhawks, then Captain Scarlet.
Right.
This-
But only if I'm really bored for Captain Scarlet. Sorry, but Stingray's just more interesting. And Terrorhawks is just fucking fun. It's just so much more fun.
Gonna disagree with you on that one.
But yeah,
Yeah, that was You need to rewatch Terrorhawks. I think.
I love Terrorhawks. I rewatch them all the time.
Perhaps
Oh,
we,
it's
perhaps
so
we need
weird.
to redo an episode.
We should
redo-
compare. We should do a live comparison where we watch one from each of them. Well, then go.
I think
We'll be there for an hour and a half, but we can. The Zeroids is what they're called.
Zeroids.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
In my experience, I preferred this one.
Yes.
I don't really remember watching too much of Thunderbirds or Captain Scarlet, and this was better than Terrorhawks. So yeah, I like this one. I like the fact that when he literally told the president to shut up, he punched him and blood went everywhere.
Yeah.
I love that. I love the funny face he pulled after he got shot and he fell thousands of feet and then still survived, even though Brown blew himself up and is just dust now.
Does he actually count as being indestructible? Because he dies. He literally dies every time.
No, he's immortal.
He's immortal. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, he's not indestructible
think.
because he's very destructible. He gets blown up, drowned, poisoned, shot, crushed. You name it.
I've thought about like the characterization of these things because I'm a nerd. I'm like immortality versus indestructibility versus invulnerability versus like there's another one I can't remember.
One more thing before we go. The ending music, the ending credits, you get a montage of still painted images, which are really cool. They're cool images. But I remember,
Yeah.
I found them a bit dark when I was a child. But I remember kind of realizing one day, you are literally watching pictures of him just before he dies. Every single one. So here's him. He's just reaching. He's trapped in rubble. He's just reaching for a bomb. He's fighting a snake. He's tied up and floating in water. It's like we're just about to watch a man die in every single one of those images. It's quite disturbing.
So he does actually die in all.
He
of them.
dies. He dies. He's not invulnerable. He's not. He is immortal. He's not indestructible. He is very destructible, and he will die and then come back again.
Jesus, that's pretty grim.
It's got to
when you think
mess with.
about
It's got to mess with your mind, doesn't it? Or is it, oh,
Yeah,
stabbed
I
in the
mean,
liver.
yeah. I think are those pictures not from like a comic book?
There were comic books. There were some novels written in the 60s. There was 3 novels. Many Captain Scarlet comics. So yes, you're right. I don't
Yeah.
think they were.
So he is
I think
actually a '60s superhero.
He is.
Mm.
So that was Captain Scarlet and Under the Mysterons.
We haven't
Jeremy,
rated it yet.
you're rating it right now. You're going first.
Oh, wait, real quick. Who's a better bad guy?
Oh,
Do you like Zelda, or do you like do you like the Mysterons, or what was the bad guy in Stingray, like King?
they were the fish people, weren't they?
Fish,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's not really a bad guy in Thunderbirds,
pref-
is there?
I
Oh no, there is.
yeah,
There's
yeah,
the guy with the what's his name?
It's not the man,
Ben-
not the Mandalorian.
Ben Kingsley.
He's Ben Kingsley. Yeah, he's the man. He's the Mandarin, not Mandalorian. The Mandarin.
Mandarin.
What's his name? Oh, he's got a
He's got a
really
superhero name, the Shadow or something.
Scorpion or something. Yeah.
I like the
find out.
Mysterons, but I think that's just because I'm biased by
Oh, it's the hood.
the hood.
The Hood. That's it. Oh
even though he
god.
doesn't
Yeah.
actually wear a hood.
Yeah.
Yes. Mysterons. So Jeremy, rate this out of 10.
Right. Right. I think it was solid, too long,
It was too long.
and I would have preferred the other episodes, but still nostalgic and better than Terrorhawks. So 6.9 sex number.
6.9. Wow. Okay.
Yep.
Jennifer.
Well, I was going to go at 6 as well because it is better than most.
I am.
It's just
surprised.
not-
I was expecting lower from you. I'm not going to lie.
All right. Were you saying so I've gone too high?
No, not at all. It's too late now. I've written it down. You gave it a 6.
Yeah, but Stingray and Terrorhawks would have got higher than a 6.
Well, you wouldn't. I swear. If you rewatch Terrorhawks, it's not.
I watch Terrorhawks all
it's
the
not-
time.
It's not good. Well, I gave it an 8.7. because I really like this show. I like the style. I like the models. I think the story's good. Yeah, this particular episode did drag on, but I think this one is different to the rest of the series.
I'd like to redo mine. I think it should get a 1.
Too late. You gave it a 6. There's no late. I'm not letting you change that. So that gives it a overall score, a very high overall score of 7.2. Let's definitely put it up there in the top 5 episodes. So, serial viewers joining us on the sofa, what do you think? Is this one of the best examples of Gerry Anderson? Do you agree with Jennifer that the Stingray is better? We're going to have to watch Stingray soon, I think.
And Thunderbirds.
And Thunderbirds.
Because I feel like the general population, it'll be more split between Stingray and Thunderbirds, I reckon, because they're more well-known. We've done the 2 lesser well-known ones, I think.
I don't know. Stingray's not actually that popular because it's a little bit lame. It's under the sea. The bad guy is not Neptune, but he's basically he's a fish guy.
King of Atlantis.
But I mean, I like it because it's got Troy and it's got Aquamarina in it.
But I think it's more well known one. Like, so Thunderbirds is the most well known. Then like I'd say Stingray, then Captain Scarlet, then Terrorhawks. I don't know about the rest of them.
I'd be interested
from the ones
to
I know.
watch Joe 90 with you guys because I remember I was called Joe 90 by relatives quite often, but I think it'd be interesting to watch that one. Anyway, do you agree with us? Please let us know. You can contact us through the website, Instagram, Facebook. We post the live video, the unedited video of the show. You can see us waving and gurning and making silly faces at the camera. You can see that on YouTube. We release that the weekend after the episode is released. Just a big shout out to Paul. Hello, Paul, for leaving us a nice comment on YouTube, asking us about the other animal superheroes like Skippy and Lassie and Flipper. So, thank you, Paul.
Wait, what did he ask?
It was just a list of other animal superheroes and his appreciation of them.
The dog from Frasier.
Sorry, he's got a name.
He does. I'm watching it and I've just forgotten it. Eddie.
Hey,
Eddie, yeah.
All right. Well,
I'm literally rewatching it at the moment.
Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it. Next time, episode 31, we are watching Baker Grove.
Oh, yeah.
Me eyes, dung on me eyes.
Dung on me eyes. Jeremy's not.
Is this going to be another racist episode?
Jeremy's not going to get
Oh, my God, yeah. Some really bad Newcastle accents.
Why are you, man?
Go
and do another groove.
What was it? It's not Brook Street. What Brook Street? What was the Jimmy? All right, Jimmy. Oh, who was it? There was the comedian that
Harry
used to
Enfield.
do. Was it Harry
Enfield?
Was it Harry Enfield?
Yeah.
The curly hair.
Yeah.
Harry Enfield and Chums. All right. Okay.
Anyway, join us for Baker
You could see
Grove.
the dances they were doing.
This was a teen show from when we were teens. Jennifer and I were teens. And this is the one, if you remember from last episode, this is the episode that I changed another one for because I learned something really batshit crazy about this show and I desperately wanted to tell the other two. So we're watching Baker Grove next week, so join us for that one. Anyway, thank you very much, Jeremy. Thank you, Jennifer.
You're welcome.
Thank you for joining us on the sofa, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Captain Scarlet, he's the one who knows the Mysteron game and things they plan. Captain Scarlet, to his Martian foes.
And we are good. So
Jennifer, would you like to please
stop
save? Stop the recording and save it, please, because you never do.
So, let's just listen to the theme song then. Hang on, I've got to play it back again. Sorry, YouTube, you have to listen to this again.
We can't hear it.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so the theme tune is he knows the Mysterons game and the things they plan. Really? That's the best lyrics you could come up with.
And it's like, why didn't you just say play?
It's that music is so 60s. You could just see someone like.
hmm
doing
So
what
like,
they do.
it's like the high strings going. "Nee."
Very funny. Anyway, I love Captain Scarlet, and you should all watch it. There'll be a quiz later.
My- My notes are interesting.
Do you know what? As much as I really enjoyed it, and I struggle to write good notes, to be honest. It's basically like,
Yeah,
oh, I like the model. Oh, that's a nice model. I like that one. That's
it's my
gonna be-
favorite.
Oh no,
one.
I've got some great notes. So, so they were on Mars, and then I've put, a fairground. This is when they first saw it. Then I put, as high tech as they are, they still can only film in black and white. So when the computer they're filming and it's on that circle, it's in black and white. Wait, and then I put, they totally shot first because obviously Captain Black, and I put, oh shit, we're done gone fucked up, boys.
I said,
Yeah, so I've got like 4 pages of stuff like that.
impressive.
It's the most notes I've written, I think.
I've got.
Mysterons are also a great believer in Vaseline.
I-
Station in it. Yeah, sorry.
I've got 3 lines of notes. One is awesome jet! Exclamation mark. I wonder what Captain Scarlet has! Exclamation mark. The next one is a car.
Oh.
The one underneath is then oh crap. Well, they're dead, I guess.
I put, one of my notes was flashing epileps need. I want some of those so that every time that they
So
they flash.
my very first note, written with 2 exclamation marks written all in capitals, is just look at the models.
And as soon as he said like this is the voice of the Mysterons, I read on Henry Phrase.
This is the voice of. It's iconic. It's
Yeah,
iconic.
anything that came out that was vaguely grown up has an exclamation mark at the end of the note, and it's just, you can tell whereas I'm watching it. So it's like he lost a hand. It's like, and then like
I've got
the
actual
fact
blood.
that when the president of the world, I thought he died. So all right, holy crap, someone's getting fired over that.
I put WTF. Wait, what? He survived, and then they showed that ridiculous chair thing where he pushed which
It's so dumb.
great reactions
We-
there from the president of the
We
world.
didn't. Yeah, that's true. He's got good reaction timing. We didn't
Wait.
talk about the transitions.
They were great. We didn't know.
Boom, 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 boom,
Bum,
boom.
bum,
That was
bum.
terrible.
No, I really liked it. The way it kind of. So if you don't know, you get that literally what Jeremy did. Bum 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 bum. But on
And it
every
flashes
beat,
between the
it
two
flashes
scenes.
between the two, and then it transitions from one to the other. I liked it.
Oh, I hated it. It was like it was every 5 seconds, and then there was a bit where he's just like boom, 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 boom. Okay, how are they doing now? They're fine. Boom, 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 boom.
I like
It's
it when you
epileptic's
transition like
worst
that.
nightmare.
And he just transitions to Captain Scarlet staring dead-eyed at the screen.
Yeah. Boom, boom, boom.
But back
Yeah, and it just flashes back with him on there, and it's just.
I know it's just a puppet, but the puppet looked vaguely uncomfortable occasionally.
It's not
It's a
Transformers level of
puppet!
transition.
Right, the theme. Jeremy, score it out of 100 for me.
The theme song.
Theme.
We didn't even have a theme song until the end.
The opening credits mixed. Yeah, just the opening credits and the music at the end. That's still the theme.
I don't really remember it.
Oh.
Captain Scarlet.
Can you come back to me? I'm gonna listen to it again.
Okay, Jennifer.
What's it out of? I can't remember.
100.
Oh, 100.
And I will then average it.
Probably 45.
45. That seems
45. Yeah, I quite like the film noir, sci-fi, horror kind of start at the beginning. And weirdly, one of my notes is it is more sci-fi than Thunderbirds.
It
And
is, isn't it?
Thunderbirds is a sci-fi. So
Yeah, that's true.
It is.
but I liked the slight horror element. Quatermass.
Quatermass. I loved Quatermass.
It reminded me of that in that it was sci-fi, but there was still the horror side of it, you know, like because it's I suppose the Mysterons are not it's not actually a bad guy. You
They're
can't
not
see.
real.
They're not real. They're shadows, and they could be anywhere. Not as cool as the shadows because, well, they're just the coolest bad guys. Yeah, so I guess a 45.
Okay.
Mm.
I gave it a
But
70.
also, oh,
No, so you lost your chance. You go last now.
hang on, no. I was gonna say, but also, Thunderbirds is just Fireman Sam, but with rockets.
Essentially, yeah. I gave the Captain Scarlet theme a 73, and it is for entirely selfish reasons because it is iconic. I remember it very, very fondly from my childhood. I like it now. I like the opening credit. I like the little "he's indestructible," blah blah blah, and then you've got the voice of the Mysterons, and then Captain Scarlet. I love it. It's great. So I gave it a 73, which is quite high for me. Jeremy, he's still listening.
Hang on, I'm still listening to it. I don't know if I'm listening to the right one. Is the one I got for the ending the right one?
It's one of them.
It's one of them.
Yeah.
Captain Scarlet.
It's all right. Maybe it's just a crappy version. I don't know. It's okay.
Well, you can take in the voiceover at the beginning, him getting riddled with bullets.
38.
38.
That's just pretty unmemorable for me. It's not like Thunderbirds. It's not like
Oh,
Captain Scarlet's like
now the Stingray that starts.
Oh, Stingray, yeah.
Stingray, you got this.
Stingray!
No,
Stingray!
you get the drums first.
Oh, well, yeah.
Anything can happen in the next half hour. Brilliant.
Exactly, I remember that.
But
Only
we'll
because it's your text message.
it was my ringtone. Weirdness. I'm going to start with you this time, Jeremy. How weird did you find this?
See, I wasn't creeped out at all. It wasn't Uncanny Valley for me like Terrorhawks was, or like it was for you guys. So I didn't really have that. I did find it was more shocking rather than weird, the grown-up stuff. The grown-up parts. So, no, it's not super weird, but there were some weird elements to it, and I remember from my childhood or from watching episodes that it does get weird in some places. So 40.
40. Well, I gave it a 19, merely just because of the Uncanny Valley stuff, because every now and again, when they were talking, nothing else, their eyes are doing the Action Man thing, left and right, and then just their bottom lip is... So, 19, it was vaguely weird. But that was it. That was the only real reason.
I was going to say it's probably going to be 15. I didn't find it weird.
No, okay.
But then we're well, we're not children of that generation. But we are children of shit TV. So,
Yeah.
shit kids TV. So we pretty much were spoon-fed crap. So it wouldn't be weird to us, really. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I found it weird that there was a viewing station that made you
car-
drive around for 20 minutes in a car, which
London car view.
Where
Yeah.
is the M21? I'm still trying.
No idea. Is there an M21? Well, there must be. If we're on the M25,
I'm gonna
there's
look.
an M21 somewhere.
There's an M22, I think.
yeah, there is M22.
I
I don't think there's an M.
I think it's an island.
Okay, so for educational value, did we learn anything? I only learned that I still love Gerry Anderson models, so I gave it a 20. Right?
Yeah.
So I gave it a 20 for educational because I didn't really learn anything, but I learned enough that it's cool and that we unify the Earth and have a president of the world. Jeremy.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like globalization could be done better.
I agree with you there, Jeremy.
So one of you, give me your educational value rating.
It's not massively educational. I'm probably going to say I'm going to give it 20.
Yeah.
Because I am as a woman, I am getting to see women in
Oh, can I
in
change my
places
answer?
of places.
Being
of-
subservient to men as always.
I gave it 20 because of the female empowerment. There you go.
Yeah. Got 20 because of
Um,
female empowerment.
Jeremy.
Yep. 25 for that, and the other 20 for the same as you guys, and then 5 for the fact that it teaches you to not shoot first, otherwise you get possessed.
Oh, say, don't shoot first when you go to Mars.
Yeah.
Oh,
You become a
in my
heroin
head.
addict.
And yeah.
That man was not responsible enough to be leading that mission.
No.
So that gives you 22 for educational. And impact. As always, impact is however you want to interpret that. So personal, popular culture, how much you enjoyed the show, how much you didn't enjoy the show, whatever you want, however you want to gauge that.
I'll go first.
Okay, go on then.
So I reckon I'm going to give it 60. It is pretty impactful. Most people, especially of our generation, if you said, "Do you remember watching Captain Scarlet?" are going to say yes.
If you, yeah, I
Do you
agree.
like it? Did you have Captain Scarlet lunchbox or a Captain Scarlet pillowcase?
You don't even need to go
gonna
that
say
far.
yes.
If you went into an office and started going, "This is the voice of the
Yeah.
master," someone will go, "Hey."
Yeah, exactly. So, and that's the girls as well.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely, yeah, I think it's yeah,
60.
yeah, 60. It's pretty. To be honest, I mean, not all Gerry series are, because I didn't realise that there was so many of them.
Yeah.
There's some of them that I vaguely only ever heard of, like the Fireball one.
Mhm. Yeah, that's on the list. We're going to watch that at some point.
Yeah. So out of them, we've got the most famous ones, the 5 famous. I would probably said Captain Scarlet is, is in the top 3 because you've got Thunderbirds and Stingray. Then it's going to be Joe 90, and then Terrorhawks is infamous more than it's famous
She's coming round, Jeremy. She's coming round.
to other people. That's just because they're wrong. But yeah,
So 60.
60. Yep.
All right, Jeremy.
Weirdly, I was going to say 61.
You can say 61. That's fine.
And that's because I remember it.
Is that it?
Which is more than most of these shows. And I quite liked it. And like you say, it's quite famous. It is in the top, for me it's the top 4, because I don't know Joe 90 apart from you guys saying him recently. Yeah, I don't think it's not quite as impactful as Thunderbirds, but it is definitely known quite well, and it's cool.
Well, I gave it a 75 because it holds up. Yes, this episode was a bit slow, but I think in general it holds up. The story's good. Yeah, the Mysterons are a bit of a dumb enemy, but it works. It fits. It goes into that whole hidden enemy thing that was going on in the 60s. It was plugging into the paranoia at the time. It's so stylish. When they first went into the hidden bunker, into his we'll be staying here for the next 2 weeks. That was a fantastic room. It was
cool.
The carpets, the chairs, it was cool. It's just a good show, and the models are excellent, and I really enjoy it, so I gave it a 75. So, which gives it quite a high impact rating of 65, which is quite high.
Yeah. We're all kind of clustered there.
Yeah, so it goes 52 for theme, 25 for weirdness, 22 for education, and 65 for impact. So I think that's pretty good. So that was Captain Scarlet. I can get rid of that piece of paper now. We're watching Biker Grove. Jeremy, do you not remember Biker Grove? Did you never watch it?
No, not
'Cause
at
it was
all.
sti- it
I
was
know who
still
Ant and
on.
Dec are.
It was still on when you were young.
I was going to say, yeah, was it?
Biker Grove
did it
just
finish?
reminds me of the hairy bikers,
Okay.
especially when you say in that accent.
The accent.
Yeah, see, it didn't end till 2006, and I think it was probably a little bit too old
I suppose, yeah.
for you when you were that. But you would have let's get ready to rumble, let's get ready to rumble.
Only
In fact, I
from
think it did
Henry.
dance.
No,
No,
I heard
So
that
I used to
song.
have I used to share an office with a friend of mine, Rob, who was very into music, very, very into music. And we used to have these little competitions where we'd try and find the most annoying song to play at each other. And Let's Get Ready to Rumble by Ant and Dec was one of my my favourite choices because it's a bad song.
Mhm.
I should probably end up playing it on our next show. So, yeah, join us for Baker Groove. Dunk on me eyes. It was.
Oh
Dunk.
my god, yeah, Donna Air was in it as
Hey,
well.
you're not supposed to be looking stuff up for Biker Grove. I don't want you stumbling across the piece of information that I found.
Oh, I'm not going to go into that
No,
much
no,
depth.
no. You've got to go into it completely cold next week. So stop looking stuff up.
Oh, I'm not going to be able to do that.
No, you can't do it. You can't do it. That was one of the agreements we made when I said we're going to switch episodes. Anyway, YouTube, thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Like Paul. Good man, Paul. Join us for next time for Baker Grove.
Baker Groove.
Baker Grove. Go on, say it with the accent, Jerry.
Baker Groove.
Baker. God, even just
Baker Groove.
I think I've got like PTSD from the Biker Grove theme tune. That was so
Getting
triggering.
panic attacks.
That was so triggering. Ugh,
Oh,
horrible. Anyway, thank you.
see, I really liked it when I was a teenager.
I watched it because it was one of those things that you kind of had to watch it.
You're talking
I
about it.
grew out of
Yeah.
it, obviously.
Yes, me
Go on.
too. I don't watch it anymore. Anyway, thank you for joining us. I'm going to say goodbye. I've tried like 3 times now. Thank you, Jennifer.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, YouTube. I'll see you next
Is
time.
there? Bye.
Bye.
Bye.